already know. So we are going to take this trip down the rabbit hole. Today is Thursday, May 26th. And on the 24th, Sabir was a guest on the Wake Up with Tayla Andre show that is also on Facebook, YouTube, and Mixcloud. Today we are X-rated, not really X-rated. That's not the word I meant. We are, yeah, unfiltered was the word that I was looking for. So everything that may not have been able to be discussed on air, on radio, can be discussed here. So if you have any questions, just send them in. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Just listen. And yes, you can still remain anonymous. Just send a message to Facebook and I will continuously check on that.
You stay anonymous.
Yeah, we have people that don't, they don't
want to be. I don't know why people get scared, man.
The same reason why you scared of cameras.
I was just joking.
I know.
That was a joke. You know, Gemini's not.
Yeah, right. Where's the camera is the question.
Yeah, no.
Where should I?
Leos are like that. That's a KRS-One move. Like he will say, put your cameras up. He'll say, put your cameras up in film. Leos like to be in the front of everything. Yes, you do. Stop. Yes, you do. You whether you know it or not, it's a natural thing. Seriously, it's natural. Like when you watch Chris, he'll do that. And like if you ever watch him, he'll always say, put a camera up. KRS-One will say that in a minute. He always like to be in the forefront. And you got to study people because, like I told you about your son, it was always based on your zodiac, not your age.
So let's talk about that since we're already there. As far as zodiacs are concerned, when you look at the biblical sense, it's the first thing God created was the firmament, was the stars in the sky and the planets. And then as things started to evolve, like today, you start looking at the stars a different kind of way, and you're a witch or you're witchcraft.
I deal with witchcraft. It's witchcraft. What am I dealing with? It's a craft. You ever see Living Colors? And when they had all the crafts, remember the mailman, the milkman? Remember he was going through it. And Keenan Ivory would say, "Message." Like he would put the message out there. Yeah. Because that's how we
That
work.
was Dopey and Menace to South Central.
Exactly. That too, but I'm telling you, him.
I reference that all the time, and I didn't think anybody knows. Message.
But it's funny because when I sat with him and his brother, it's like they would tell me things. Like when I first went to LA, they told me that. They said, Sabir, if you create something, people will come. I remember Damon Wayne's telling me this probably 7 years ago. So you created. So that's what was going on at that time frame. Is that it's not that it's bad. It's just witchcraft are we operating with?
Hold on. So are you saying with all these Christians watching right now, are you saying that witchcraft is okay?
It's okay. I mean, but the problem is you were taught that it was negative.
But it is, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's just a craft, like I said, or what you operate with. Which craft are you operating? I know that may be hard for some people because you were taught that it was negative. It's just like you was taught astrology was negative, and it's not. Astrology is based on the zodiac. That's all it is. And if you look at a watch, the timers on a watch, I was born and raised in Philadelphia. We have this thing in the middle of Center City called Rittenhouse Square. Y'all can Google it.
What is it called?
Rittenhouse Square.
Rittenhouse Square?
Yeah, Rittenhouse Square.
Okay. In
Center City. It's like on 18th and 19th and Walnut. You can Google it. There's two little boys standing there holding a sundial, right? In the middle of Rittenhouse Square. And you walk past at one time, they say you can tell time by the sun, by the Amun Ra. But what happens because of the high rise, you can't tell it anymore. But you would come directly there and say, okay, it's such as they still use it. It's like in Stargate, different movies, they were showing you the sun and they knew what time it was setting. Remember even in the Mummy movie, what's the one when the little boy had the thing on, they would look at the sun and the shade started fading. That's what it was with the sundial. That's how we told time. We didn't tell time by watches. The watch was a zodiac. 12 signs of zodiac. You got 12 o'clock, 6, 3, and 9.
And that's where the dots are always at.
6, 3, and 9. This is what you will call your cardinal points. Fire, earth, air, water, winter, summer, spring, and fall, north, south, east, west.
Are you doing a cross? That looks like we're about to pray.
That's the cardinal points. That's why the Pope is called the cardinal. He goes like this. You thinking he's giving you a cross, but that's your cross, your points. Your fire, your earth, your air, your water, which is your elements. Your north, your south, your east, your west. See, all these are cardinal points. So you're thinking he's doing it from religion. He's dealing with your science. and he wears the fish hat. If you look at the symbol of the Pope, it's a fish hat. I grew up in the Catholic Church, so I didn't understand until I got into this science, and I said, oh, that's what he was dealing with the sun behind the cross. When you look at the sun behind, in the Catholic Church, it's like that. You have that circle.
And even Orthodox also have that.
I grew up in it. So I didn't know it when I was in the church, and I'm like, what is this? But one day we was burying my father. It was a bunch of Moors, and we was carrying my father's casket, and and the priest comes out, and we all have feathers on. He was like, what is this? And Brother Taj goes in, and Taj just hit him. But it's raining out, mind you, as we bury my father, and the priest walks you to the cemetery. So he asking about our feathers, and it was drizzling. We had a whole lecture inside the cemetery about that. He knew exactly what it was, but he wanted to know if we knew what it was. And so Todd's going to the science of the Pope and how the Pope know. So what they do is scare black people into don't deal with astrology.
The Illuminati's coming to get you.
You talking about this? We did a whole book. Actually, this brother right here just did a book on this.
Really?
This is a brand new book. He just did it. The Illuminati.
Can you show
Illuminati,
that?
Illumination of the Mind. That book
is this
so much.
Can you purchase this?
Yeah, the brother Abdullah Bay. I don't have his information on me, but they can go to they can email me. info@SpiritBayShow. But this book, and he actually forwarded to me, acknowledged me inside the book for pushing him to do this, because I did a lecture on the Illuminati in Detroit one time, and speaking about it, because he also knows about the Illuminati, because Illuminati means to illuminate, to bring forth the light, and it actually explains that in the book.
So how did it go to being something so positive, something so natural, to being this, as soon as we see somebody throw up like one eye or
like this,
and all of a sudden it's evil?
Because Hollywood, just like Hollywood made you think Indians were Indians you see today, Hollywood lies to us too. So we looking at things without doing the research. So when we sit back and really do this research, you will get it. And you be like, wait a minute, and start understanding language. And that is the key to everything, is language. Again, with the whole astrology, when you look at the 12 signs of the Zodiac, when you're looking at the north, south, east, west, fire, earth, air, water, the elements, because those are the elements that you're built up off of. So they'll say, oh no, don't deal with astrology, that's the devil. I'll be like, don't deal with birthdays then. That's what I tell Christians. If you don't deal with astrology, give me your watch.
I was about to say that, because in that sense, is that not an idol? The same idol as Jesus on the cross, the same idol.
But that's
as
not the cross that
cross
Jesus was on. That's not. If you look in any old dictionary and look at crosses, you'll see different forms of crosses. Actually, this is one of the crosses I have here. I got it cut this inside here. This is a cross also too. So I asked, what kind of cross was Jesus?
So what
on?
is that?
That's a cross from Ethiopia too.
Are you Ethiopian?
We all are.
What does that mean?
Well, they say Greeks mean burnt face, but I don't call it Ethiopia. I say Habasha from Abyssinia, which Abyssinia is.
Oh, I've been saying Ethiopia. It wrong? I thought it was Habasha.
Habasha. For Abyssinia. Abyssinia is what you would call Ethiopia. The whole landmass. That's what we're talking about. So Habasha will be dark people. So if you go to an Eritrean, which means Red Sea or Red River, you would say Habasha. They would say, yeah, how did you know? Are you Habasha? That's the comeback with them.
They do.
See what I'm saying? They'll ask you that because they say, well, this person is Latino or black. What do they know about that? So now they're looking at you totally different. So when they see me, they ask me, am I from Jamaica? Am I from Haiti? Am I from Ethiopia? Why? Because we all look alike. We have locks over there also. But over here, we're not taught that. We're not taught true science. We're not taught true astrology. We're not taught true history. We're not even taught true economics. So when you look at Lalibela, which is also where this comes from, in Lalibela.
What is that?
This is the swastika, which is Sanskrit. This is in Ethiopia. Y'all can look it up online and see that this is in Lalibela Church. This is a symbol. It's ours. It's African. It has nothing to do with Hitler. So when you research this stuff, you will actually get it and won't be afraid of it. It's the same thing with astrology.
We have a question. Eddie Key Jr. says that he sees that you have the swastika on. Can you talk about Hitler and how he felt about the true Jews?
Well, first of all, they weren't the true Jews. If you ever really study Hitler, Hitler really wasn't against us. He was against the fake Ashkenazis. But really, it was his own people. if you look at the history of it, it was his own people they were killing. It's like we killing our people now. It's like today, we may disagree with some of our own people, and we may fight against our own people, just like today in the streets. It's the same thing what happened at that time frame. But we look at this and thinking it has something to do with Jews. We are the original Jews. There's a book, I think it's in this one of these books. I have it, but this is, where is it at? It's in it's in this book also, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro, about who the real Jews are. But it has nothing to do with the Ashkenazis that we see. And I'm gonna show you another picture real quick for everybody so they can see who the Jews were at that time frame. Now we talking about a picture that was done in when did Hitler start doing what he's doing? You see what they're saying there?
Wow.
Show them that picture. That's an old postcard from 1929. And when did Hitler start doing what he was doing? That's the Moorish Zionist Jews. So who were they talking about?
And I always wondered, a lot of Cape Verdeans are Jewish. A lot of Northern Africans.
We're the original Jews.
You guys see that? You guys got that? Because we probably won't be able to see this for a long time. You better take a screenshot.
Yeah, you can take a picture. I mean, I can make a copy for you. But when you study this book called From Babylon to Timbuktu, by Rudolph Windsor, he speaks about the Moorish Jews, and they also how we the original Jews. They're not the original Jews. They're not the original Semitic people. We are the Semitic people. Semitic is the Semites, which is the Ethiopians, Amorites, Cushites, all those people. You can Google this information and you will actually see if they're talking about us. So of course they're fake. So why wouldn't he do what he did?
So really quickly, I want to direct the viewers to these books.
Let them see the front of that book
This
right there. That's
Truth
perfect.
About Your Birthright. Now, one of the questions that came in was, as far as education and as far as the knowledge is concerned, why does it seem like, I could have taken Microsoft Word, went ahead and typed it up, printed it out, and I have a book and read this. This is the knowledge. This is the truth. You don't find this knowledge in, a hard copy, rundown house or whatever the publishing companies, like Cambridge House,
That's Cambridge right there. This is Cambridge. It's there. It's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for your history of being a slave, you ain't gonna find it. This is actually in the UK right here. This book, and it costs, go online, you probably see it for $101 or $73.
Really?
How many people will pay for this kind of book? How many people would really pay $100 for a book? Not many of us.
If you went to college, you paid that every semester.
There you go. If you went to college, because why? You had no choice but to do that, right? But the average person won't pick up a book like this. That's too much money. But you'll go to a strip club and make it rain for $100, $200. We'll make it rain.
$400 for a $70 bottle.
See, I don't know nothing about that. I don't drink. That's my drink right here. These books. This is my alcohol. See how it works. So that's what we're up against. It's not that it's not there. It's there. It depends on what university that you go to. Because trust me, Europeans know about the history. They know about astrology.
You said the Moors were at your father's funeral. Were you raised in this? Was this?
No. I wasn't raised in. I think I said this to you on your show. I was raised up as a Catholic, but we had Moors who lived next door to me, and I didn't know. I thought it was some type of religious cult or something. I didn't know what it was. I was a Catholic. I didn't know. So it wasn't until I got older, in my 20s, that I ran across a brother by the name of Kamar. And actually, he wrote one of the books called 33 Questions to Ask the Moorish Child. And I was went through the nation. I was in the nation for a bit, went right back into the street, but went back into Sunni Islam with the beard and the kufi, the jalabir, the whole nine. And I just happened to run across this brother, and I'm like, oh, who is this dude? I used to see him stand up against the police, and I'm like, who is this cat, man? And, I'm like, I'm against the police since I was a young guy. So I'm watching this brother, and I just happened to catch him in the market. And I was asking you, what is that hat on your head? Because that's what people call our fezzes, hats. I said, what is that hat on your head? He said, it's not a hat. Hat has brims. I said, okay, got that. He corrected me off the bat. He said, a hat has a brim on it. I said, oh, okay. He said, this is a national headdress. So we started talking. and he invited me over to his house. And he said, yo, I want you to read something. And he said, I want you to read this book. The book that he pulled out was the dictionary, regular Webster's dictionary. He said, I want you to look up this word. The word was Indian. So when I looked up the word, and he said, now trace the word back. And it went to indigo. I said, oh, snap, it's a color. So I'm intrigued now. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So that's when he started bringing information about the Moors into me and saying how we were Moors. And then for the record, so people don't get it confused. The Moors are the Cushites, Moabites, Hammatites, Semitic people, all of them. The modern day that we say Moor is just saying more. Like we can say M-O-R-O or M-O-R-I or M-O-R-E-E. And actually in J.E. Rogers' book, this particular book, he wrote this book in 1940s.
Nature Knows No Color Line. I think this is actually one of the books that he referenced on Tuesday about reading. So
that's a very good book for all of y'all. And it speaks about 50 variations of the term Moor. And if you Google the Moors, the four Moors, and this is in Italy, there's a picture of us being like chained. You see that picture?
Yeah, so it's actually posted on Tayla Andre, TaylaAndre for those that are not on Facebook. It was on there on Tuesday. There might be a couple scrolls in order for you to see it, but it's also called something else. I read it, the Four Moors, and there's also a flag with four more heads.
Yeah.
And red in the background and the white cross.
Yeah, but all of that, even in Philadelphia, there's in the Masonic Lodge, there is a Moorish room in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, it's like when you walk in there, some brother asked me, he says, they let y'all go in? I said, brother, we're Moors. We walk in with our feathers. They know who you are. It's just the black people don't know that they're Moors. They think it's some type of religion that just popped up in 1920s, not before that. There's an article. Can you find an art? Oh, this is an article, right? I keep everything. I try to travel with all the stuff that I have. I ain't show you that one though. Look at the top.
It says Daily Herald, Cleveland. Oh, will Spain once more fall before the same Moorish tribes that conquered her in 711 AD?
And what year was that? 1939?
Can you guys see that? You can always replay it, rewind it, pause it at a later date.
Now look at what it says about who the Moors were.
So for those who can't read, the Moors originally were a nomadic tribe of Berbers and Hamites of northern Africa. They were dark-skinned and sometimes almost black, but more often displaying the olive hue complexion of certain of the Caucasian people. Eventually, they mixed with the Negroid race of the northern Africa and Arabs, although they never were completely absorbed by one or the other.
You got something on your computer too.
So those that are currently on YouTube, please head over to Facebook because we are about to shut down.